Avade, and welcome back to the link. Okay, Chris, I had a real big question. I didn't want to.
Oh yeah.
I want to, and now I don't want to seem like a goof, right? That's kind of like been my thing.
Now,
last year.
okay.
Okay, didn't Guam have a slaughterhouse before? And I want to say it was in Malolo.
Ray, do you know?
I don't know. I think we did.
When you go around the island, especially if you come from the south and heading up, like on the left side, there's this like abandoned facility and it's all rusted out and everything like that. And it's kind of, but you can see it from the street on the left side. And I believe, like when my aunties were telling me, that it used to be a slaughterhouse.
Probably.
I'm even surprised the word slaughterhouse is still politically correct these days.
Like, what else would you call it? A place of life ending for animals we consume? You got to find a nice fluffy way to talk about it.
Nourishment process. I don't know. You got to ask, the kids.
Where the animals go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Right on. 740. Yeah, Ray, so I guess, I know you're a very opinionated gentleman. You were able to catch a little bit of the congressman's speech. What were a couple of the takeaways for you before we get into official GHURA business?
No, I didn't catch his speech. I'm just saying most of the funding we receive annually, we get it on our own. It's in many cases entitlement. So yeah, I mean, he takes credit for all the money we're getting that are COVID related, but we're working very closely with our federal partners to get that money. So
interesting.
It is what it is.
It is, and I feel like credit to him, right? To take credit, because that's what politicians do. It's nothing new. But I think his idea is like, if it came from the federal government, you're welcome.
Yeah, and he needs to give credit to my team. It's not even me, myself, but it's my team that's been pushing to get this federal dollars. So, right. Kudos to them.
Jay,
not to me and not to
Bobby,
not to the congressman.
Messaged me in, and she said, my friend Bobby, ran a slaughterhouse in Agate back in the 1920s.
In the 20s?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I don't know.
But that was in Agate. But yeah, I always thought it was around like...
Maybe there was another one.
Like near, Malolo and Alahan, like there was one over there, I thought.
If my southern friends would figure out WhatsApp, we'll know. But let's go ahead and get into it. Jay, I know you had a question for Ray.
No, that was it, about the slaughterhouse.
Oh, that was it.
The one.
Okay, that was your one question. Oh, great. Okay, now we're in trouble. No, Ray, so I know that you guys are, of course, abattoir. Joni commented, and that's the nice word for slaughterhouse.
Ah, okay.
Okay, there you go. Fancy. French. That's French, right?
Yeah, good luck spelling that, though.
Right. Ray, let's just run through all the projects you guys are working on. You sent a bunch of stuff. Can we start with the Sinania Fire Station? What's the status on that one?
Okay, that's a $1.6 million project. We are currently evaluating proposals. I think we received about 5. These proposals are for the architectural and engineering design. So we hope to complete that process possibly within the next 2 weeks. We've involved the fire department in evaluating the proposals. So once they're done with their part, then we'll be able to award the contract. So I'm anticipating the design will take maybe 6 to 8 months, and then we can issue an invitation for a bid for construction.
Okay. Next, the iLearn. You guys broke ground on this iLearn charter school, right?
Yes, we did. About a week and a half ago. It's a $32 million project. Our contribution to the iLearn Academy is $12 million. And we hope the contractor can finish by next school year, which is August 2022. And we're hoping the construction can be completed by no later than July. So they've got a huge task ahead of them.
Well, there are some other projects for my Umaticans, the Umatic baseball field. Where's this going to be?
Yeah, the Umatic baseball field, unfortunately, it's like nearly complete, but the contractor is challenged because he's lost a lot of his skilled labor. So we're about 79% complete. Unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of activity in the last couple of weeks, but we're on them. That's about a little bit over $1 million project.
Where's this at?
Umatic.
Yeah, I know Umatic.
Down south.
Is it by the bridge?
It's going down going down the hill towards Umatic in that general vicinity.
Coming from Agate or Melissa?
Coming from Agate.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're going down the hill towards the village.
What about this Gumatrank solar project? Is that is this a conception or drawing or?
Yeah, that's a conceptual plan. But basically, you know, we've stepped out of our comfort zone, and we want to pursue renewable energy technology, particularly as a pilot phase over at Gumatrank. So it's a solar project that we're very excited about. We're currently evaluating proposals, and we hope to award a contract possibly within the next week. It involves about 53 structures where we hope to have not just solar power, but battery backup. So even if they lose power, because the power is not very stable these days, the Manamco there will never lose power because of the battery backup. And that's very critical for our Manamco population, our elderly population, because if they require oxygen, they actually will never lose power. So that's kind of something we're very, very pleased with.
Inaran basketball court, Ray, Mongwong Totu Mighty basketball courts?
Okay, the Inaran basketball court, that's a $370,000 project. We just recently got the building permit. It took 13 months to get a building permit. And I'm glad the Lieutenant
You didn't talk to the permitting czar?
Well, nonetheless, we got the building permit, and we hope to break ground within 2 weeks. There's some challenges that we encountered, but we're just trying to schedule my bosses, the governor, lieutenant governor, to attend the groundbreaking ceremony. And then the Mongmong Totumaiti basketball court, we're also doing a second basketball court. That's a $470,000 project. And we're currently working on the request for proposal for A&E design. So that's moving forward.
Let's talk about this homeless voucher thing. And I know we got the release. It was about a week ago. Ray, are there any vouchers still available? How do people get them? And what can they do with these vouchers?
Well, we received 87 emergency housing vouchers from HUD, and this is primarily to target our homeless population. We actually cannot start issuing vouchers till July 1st, so we have a couple more days. But we've entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Guam Homeless Coalition to help us with making the referrals to GHURA. And, you know, there's certain criteria by definition of what a homeless person is or a homeless family are. And that's indicated in our press release. But basically, the referrals will come from the Guam Homeless Coalition, then GHURA will do what it needs to do to issue a voucher. So hopefully we can target some of the folks over at the Global Dorm and try and put them in in a more permanent setting, more permanent housing. And as well, those that are out there in the streets. So yeah, we're excited about that. And we're very, very blessed to have an additional 87 vouchers on top of the 2,581 vouchers that we already receive annually.
So July 1st, how do people get them?
Well, again, the referrals, the casework is being done by the Homeless Coalition, and they have a number of case workers and social workers that have been doing their jobs even prior to us getting these 87 vouchers. So once we receive the vouchers, then we've received the vouchers, but we'll be able to issue it starting July 1st. So we're just days away from trying to put a roof over some of these folks' heads. And as well, Chris, we have a second homeless shelter that we're working on to add to the Global Dorm, and we're looking at about 40 additional units. There was a delay because of the requirement for flood insurance by the feds. The Lieutenant Governor was able to address that, so now we're just going through the motions of meeting all the federal requirements, the public notices, the environmental documentation, and once we're done with that, we hope to have a second shelter on board.
Can we talk a little bit about the Women's Recovery Center? Yeah,
the Women's Treatment Center in Tizen. We broke ground back in May, about a month ago, and the contractor has begun to mobilize. It's a $2.35 million project. It's the first women's treatment center. Keep in mind, Chris, when more often than not, women will opt not to get treatment if they have an addiction problem, primarily because if there's kids involved, then it's a very tough decision for them. So what we've done is created an environment where they'll be able to have visitation, or their kids will be able to visit them on a regular basis. And we hope that would curb some of the decisions made by the court to allow women with a drug or alcohol problem to undergo treatment at this women's treatment center and be able to keep their families intact. So we hope to complete the project within a year.
Right on, Ray. What about I remember there was a couple years ago I'd done an interview with you about apartment style GHURA housing, and there was discussion of maybe liquidating some of the assets. Has that kind of been put on ice because of the pandemic, or is that something that you still discuss?
That's something that HUD would like me to pursue. It's really something that's happening nationwide with housing authorities. There's a lot of challenges in doing that, but basically, many of our structures, even though when you look at them, they're in excellent condition because we've maintained them over the years, but many of them are 40 years old, in some cases over 50 years old. So we need to be proactive. If we need to liquidate those and acquire or build new units as replacements, then that's the route we want to go. Some of the challenges we face is we may end up selling it below fair market value, and that of course is a concern for a lot of the realtors, because it would certainly have an impact to to the real estate market. But you know what? When the average price of a home is about $375,000, then why not? Most people can't afford that. And if GHURA can take the lead in selling homes below that price range, so that more families can actually buy a home, then that's the route I want to go. But we've had some challenges because of the opposition. But Chris, we're also building the Central Arts Hall in Sinajana.
That's I saw that.
$892,000 project. We anticipate will be done by November of this year, and we'll cut the ribbon to that project. Some of the delays, particularly with many of our projects, is, we actually had a concrete shortage on this island.
Wow.
So we're looking at a maybe 5-6 week delay to the Central Arts Hall, because we had to we weren't able to pour the roof. We've already poured the walls, we've poured the foundation, and once we pour the roof, then we anticipate we'll be moving very, very expeditiously. But we have to schedule the roof pouring, and I think it's going to happen in the next 3 weeks. But if we wanted to do it today, we couldn't do it today.
Wow. Ray, thank you for your time this morning. I know you got a busy day ahead of you, so thanks for popping in. Anything in closing, my friend?
Yeah, we're also going to be building the Eastern Police Substation down in Talofofo, and that's we dedicated $200,000 for the design. So we'll be issuing that RFP sometime soon. And then
we're at in Talofofo.
We're looking at 2 or 3 options. It's not final, so I don't want to let the cat out of the bag until I've discussed this with the Lieutenant Governor. But it will be probably in Talofofo, primarily because the southern precinct, which is in Agat, it takes a long time for any kind of emergency response. So we need to build something on the southeastern side of the island. So that's kind of our strategy. We also have about $3.6 million that we're going to set aside, that we've budgeted for, to acquire dilapidated structures and basically flip them. We'll renovate them. My engineering team will go out there and assess them. We'll renovate them, and then we'll turn around and lease them to low-income families. So we're excited about that as well. So A lot of things going on. Aside from that, aside from the HUD-funded projects, we've been talking to public health about the construction of the CDC lab. That's about a $32 million project.
Right.
The swimming pool, we've been working with Parks and Recs to build a new swimming pool.
Where would that
And
be?
then I'm sorry?
Where would that new swimming pool be, or is it still early?
Well, we proposed to build it in Dedido, but there's some opposition about building in Dedido, and we wanted to build it in Dedido because the infrastructure is already there. We built the last pool in Dedido, and the infrastructure was actually designed to accommodate a larger pool. So we believe we'll be able to build one real quickly if we're given the green light to do it there, but it's not our property. It's actually under the oversight of Parks and Recs. If that's the decision, if that's the desire of the administration, then we're ready to go with the A&E design for the new pool. And we're also talking to land management and other land agencies about building the land and housing building down in Agana next to the Hulali Shopping Center, and that's about a $19 million project. So we had a meeting yesterday. And then we also entered into a memorandum of agreement with the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, and you've seen this in the news, to build the New Beginnings building. That's about an $8.7 million project right in front of their current facility in Tamuning. And then to renovate the former Talafofo Cottage homes under DYA and turn that into a drug alcohol rehab facility. So this is kind of what we're doing, just a lot of stuff aside from, providing a home to 4,800 plus families.
Yeah. What's the waiting list? Is there a waiting list for housing?
Absolutely. There's a huge waiting list. I think we have about 4,000 some families and individuals on that wait list. So we'll never get caught up, but, we try our best.
Well, that's all we can ask of anyone, Ray. So thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, Chris.
See you. Ray Topasna, GHURA. Yeah, definitely sounds like they're focusing on the urban renewal part. So it's Guam Housing, urban renewal with the what did we say yesterday, sir? The plethora of projects. Yeah, plethora of projects. It's 7:56. We're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back on KUAM TV. Oh, yes, we are. We've got a bunch of great things for you guys this morning. Sabrina is coming out with a new podcast at the KUAM Podcast Network, Crimes Without Convictions. Guys, if you are a true crime